Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the hidden engines of global trade. And we're zeroing in on one company in particular, PT Dua Bintang Kriasindo. We're going to explore how this Indonesian powerhouse is the critical link between a nation's incredible natural resources and, well, the rest of the world. So think about it. Indonesia is an absolute treasure trove of natural resources. We're talking coal, nickel, essential rare earth minerals, the works. But all that stuff doesn't just magically teleport to where it's needed, right? The journey from a remote mine to a factory thousands of miles away needs a seriously complex bridge of logistics and finance. And that, right there, is where a company like PT Dua Bintang Kriasindo comes into play. So to really get what makes them tick, we're going to break down their operation into 5 key parts. We'll kick things off with their role as a resource connector, then we'll dive into their incredibly diverse product line. After that, we'll follow the journey through their mine-to-market network, get to know the team behind it all, and finally, see how they build trust through official certifications. All right, so let's get right into it. First things first, who exactly is PT Dua Bintang Kriasindo? We can call them DBK for short. At its very core, DBK is an investment and trading house. You can think of them as the ultimate matchmaker in the world of commodities. They build the bridges, both logistical and financial, that connect Indonesian producers with a global market that is absolutely hungry for these resources. Now, their company motto is Bersama Technology, which basically translates to together with technology. In an industry that can often seem a bit old school, this is a huge statement. It tells you they're all in on using modern tools to optimize every single thing they do, from managing complex logistics to real-time trading and global communications. And their reach, it's genuinely global. We're talking about a network that serves buyers in over 35 countries. So this isn't just a regional thing. They are literally moving Indonesian resources to just about every corner of the map. So how do you service that many countries? Well, you need a colossal network. And DBK has cultivated just that, with over 1,000 international buyer contacts. But look, this is way more than just a big contact list. It's a deep web of relationships that lets them skillfully match Indonesian supply with global demand. And even though their portfolio is really diverse, they have some serious expertise in coal. This number, 8, shows you just how specialized they are. They offer 8 primary grades of Indonesian steam coal, which allows them to meet the very specific, very technical requirements of different power plants and industrial users all over the world. Okay, so let's move on to the product portfolio and see how this all builds out. Because while coal is a cornerstone of their business, it is far, far from the whole story. I mean, just take a look at this list. It shows you just how diverse they really are. You've got everything from energy staples like coal and oil to industrial must-haves like metals and steel, and even other key materials like biomass and cement. This isn't just a random list, it's a strategy. Being this diverse makes them incredibly resilient to market shifts and absolutely essential to a whole bunch of different global supply chains. Let's zoom in on that steam coal for a second. Each number you see here, like 4,200 GAR, that refers to its gross as received value. In simple terms, that's its energy content. By offering this precise range, they can supply the exact fuel grade that a specific power plant or industrial furnace needs anywhere in the world. And this is where it all begins. What you're looking at are river barges, and this is the critical first step in moving a commodity like coal from a mine that's often deep inland down the river to a coastal port where those massive ocean-faring vessels are waiting. Beyond coal, their portfolio in metals and steel is just as crucial. I mean, they supply everything from ferronickel, which is a key ingredient for stainless steel, to strategic rare earth minerals, and even the literal foundations of our cities, like rebar and H-beams. Okay, having a diverse portfolio is one thing, but the real challenge is actually getting those massive quantities from the mine to the market. So let's take a look at how their network actually delivers. So here are the nuts and bolts of their logistics. They operate from major ports like Samarinda and can load a huge range of vessels, from the smaller handy-sized ships all the way up to massive Panamax carriers that can hold up to 75,000 metric tons. And with loading rates hitting 20,000 tons a day, it's clear this is a high-volume, high-efficiency machine. This picture really captures the final handoff in Indonesian waters. You've got a large mother vessel being loaded offshore by smaller barges, which consolidates all the cargo.
This is the exact moment that the resource begins its long journey across the ocean to international markets.
You know, an operation of this scale doesn't just run itself. It needs a really clear and effective structure. So let's take a quick look at the team that makes all of this possible. It's a simple question, right? But the answer really reveals how the company is organized to tackle so many different markets all at once. Their organizational structure is really streamlined for focus and efficiency. You've got a president director at the top, and they oversee key directors for the major areas like coal and natural resources. But notice how it breaks down even further into these specialized business divisions for metals, for steel, and so on. This whole setup is designed to ensure they have deep, focused expertise in every single commodity they handle. And finally, when you're dealing with shipments worth millions upon millions of dollars, trust is completely non-negotiable. So how does a company like DBK establish its credibility on the world stage? Well, the foundation of their trust is all about official, government-backed licensing. This list right here shows their credentials. For example, the IUPOK, that gives them special rights for mining and exploration. The ET license, that certifies them as a registered exporter. These aren't just formalities, okay? They are legal authorizations from the Indonesian government that signal to global partners that DBK is a legitimate and regulated operator. And you know, it all comes down to this simple but incredibly powerful promise they make to their clients. After all the logistics, all the certifications, and all the networking, their core value proposition is delivering the highest quality commodities at the most competitive price. And that brings us to a final and really crucial question. As the global demand for energy and for infrastructure continues to evolve, trading houses like DBK are positioned right at the center of that shift. They are the conduits for the materials that build our future. So how will their role adapt as the world itself changes? It's definitely something to keep an eye on. Thanks for watching.